today we are going to start with the operator. So basically, in a Python, there are total 7 types of operators are available. That is arithmetic operator, comparison and relational operator. You're already aware of these two type of operator. You already know the assignment operator, then logical operator. We already studied the bitwise also, but these two operator, membership operator and the identity operator, these are the two specific operators. Those are new in a operators, and identity operator is another new, and in arithmetics they have added one or two more operators, so that we are going to study. So when I'm going to talk about the arithmetic operators, so in arithmetic operators we know that there is a addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and the modulus. So these operators we studied, but there are two more extra operators are available in a Python, that is exponential and the floor division. So let's study about these two operators. So exponential means if you want to write down an exponential, so if you want to calculate an exponential of a particular number, so when I'm going to calculate the exponential of a particular number, if I'm going to say x is equals to 2 and the y is equals to 3, y is equals to 3, and I want to take an exponential of those things. So I'm going to say that z equals to x y. So in this way, what's going to happen, it will calculate, and then I will just like to print it. Sorry, z. So this is a program, and you can observe that it is going to calculate the exponential. Exponential means it will calculate this particular concept as a 2 raised power 3. So it's going to calculate it. And when I'm going to talk about the floor division, so basically when I'm going to talk about the floor division is also same, but only thing is that over here, if you are going to talk about it over here, so if I'm going to take a 10 and 5, I'm going to say make a floor division of it, and I want to print it. So it will show the same result as a division, but if I'm going to say over here minus 10, sorry, if I'm going to say minus 10 and 5, so it will take the value which are nearer to it. So that is the negative value nearer to it. So the basic answer is 3.5 minus 3.5, and after that it will go towards the negative end. So that's why the answer is going to get come 4. That is called as a floor division. So over here, the floor division concept is also available in arithmetic operator. And as we know, in a comparison operator, we already aware about this operator, not equals to, greater than, less than. So we'll not much focus on these operators. Then after that, assignment operator, equals to, then add and then subtract and, that is these kind of operator. So exponential, these already we studied. Then binary operators we also studied, that is a left shift right is operator. We know that how to calculate the that is the ones complement is available with the tilde. Then XOR operation is available with, if you want to take an XOR with the, that is upper arrow, and then after that OR and is available. Now after that, in a logical operator, basically they have given a one word over here is that is and, or, and not. So regarding the logical operator and or not, these things are given. And regarding the identity operators, so identity and membership operators are available. So these are the two new operators are available in a Python, that is and is not, and that is in and in not. So let's see what are they working. So when I'm going to talk about the Python in membership operator are used to test the if sequence is pretended is an object. So जो भी आपको sequence दिया होगा वो अगर object अगर होगा, so in operator returns the true if the sequence with the specified value is represented in an object, that is x in y, and not means if returns the true if the sequence with the specified value is not present in the objects. So these things we are going to study when we are going to perform the string handling. So don't worry about it. I'm going to cover these part in and not, and as well as there is a one more operator is available over here, is a membership operator. So we are done with the membership and the identity operator. So in identity operator, I used to compare the object, not if all they are equal, but if they are actually the same object. Means if we want to find out the same object, means the same location of that particular memory location of that object is available. So at that time we are going to use this operator, that is and in not. So don't worry about these two objects. So especially this part I'm going to skip right now, and I'm going to cover during the next coming session. So I have in mind that I have skipped these two things. So only for sake of your knowledge, I have explained that there are two special type of operator available in Python, that is identity operator and the membership operator. So hopefully till now we come to know that there are, as we studying it, so operator basically is for performing the different operations on a variables as well as on a different mathematical expression. So we have to clear these kind of things. So the next fundamental is available is a decision making. So before that, now the next fundamental over here is that decision making. As we know that whenever we have to take a decision, so we have to set up some condition mechanism where we can check that particular condition, whether that condition is true or false. That's why we studied about the operators, because basically logical operator or comparison operator will going to help us, or assignment operator, logical and comparison operators are going to help us to form a particular condition. जैसे हमने देखा था C के अंदर, whether the particular tomato is a red or not. So same way in a Python also there are decision making mechanisms are available. The same is available, but only the little bit syntax is changed. So जब आप जैसे अगर आपका maturity आगे बढ़ेगा, so what going to get happen is that a certain level is going to come in your life, and then after that what going to get happen is that for you the language is not the matter. Because I just want to share my personal experience over here. I have done the CDAC, that is Diploma in Advanced Computing. So over there, they near about going to taught us 8 to 9 languages. So once we study only C, then after that we study the Java. And so we say that, okay, I know the C, and then after that I know the Java. But later on, when you study more than 2 or 3 languages now, so every time when you study the new language, for you, it's going to just become a matter of syntax. In every languages are going to get divided into 2 categories. The first one is a procedure-oriented language, another is an object-oriented language. Or third, you are going to categorize is the web development languages are there. So either you do the web development, you are going to do the standalone application, or you are going to perform some kind of, that is the assembly level coding. So when we talk about the different languages, so after some time, your mentality is going to become in a such a way that, oh, okay, so this is the language now. In every language, I know that there are some kind of operator should be there, some kind of decision making should be there, some kind of function should be there. Then after that, for processing, they will provide some kind of function. So in every language, some features are common. When you even go to the Java, there are some features are common. In a C++, there are some features are common. In a C, there are some features are common. If you go in a C#, some features are going to get common. It is possible that in a C# you will say that some delegates an event. Here you will call it as a list and something. And in Java, you will go and talk about something else. So moreover, the features are same. So always, whenever you try to study any new language, my request is to study as a point of view language. Okay, it's a only language. Do not make that particular syntax is in your head. कि हाँ इसका ये syntax है मुझे याद रखना है. So you have to always go with the conceptual thing. Okay, इसकी concept ऐसी है ना, इस तरह से काम करता है. Okay. When I'm going to switch to a Python, मुझे indentation के बारे में ध्यान रखना है. When I'm going to switch to a C, so मुझे थोड़ा scope, resolution, storage और ये सब के बारे में ध्यान रखना होगा. When I go to the Java, okay, वहाँ पर pointers available नहीं है. When I go to C, okay, over there pointers available. I have to think in object particular way. So when you go for programming, you have to think in that particular method. Same way यहाँ पर भी if else and decision making looping mechanisms are available. Syntax यहाँ थोड़ा difference होगा. That is, if condition is true, then the block is going to get executed, and the condition is false, the block is going to get escaped. So then after that, same way, if and else, you will write down that if the condition is going to become true, what decisions you are going to make, and if condition is going to false, what decisions you are going to make. Same with the else fundamental available, and nested if else is also available. So let's talk about the first decision making mechanism. So let's take an example. Just a minute. Okay, no files. Okay. So in this way, so as we can see that first we are going to declare two variables. It's going to have some values in it, and then after that I'm going to use the keyword if, and then after that I'm going to form a condition if B is greater than A, and then after that I have to give the starting of indentation. So that is a shorthand if you can give. Shorthand means what? If in a if statement only one, in a body of if condition only one statement is available, you can give in a same line. So this is called as a shorthand if. So when I'm going to talk about the run it, so you are able to run that code. But consider that in that particular if block, there are more than 2 or 3 statements are available. So here indentation fundamentally you have to keep in mind that is this is the block. This is a block of a if. So if I'm going to write down 3 times, so on basis of this particular condition, these 3 code is available. Means all the codes are going to get executed only and only when this particular condition is going to become true. So I'm going to execute. So the 3 times going to print. But अगर आप यहाँ गलती से आपने फिर गलती कर दी, that is tab is over here, then you will put in this way. 3 blocks are going to get created. So okay, blocks available. You are going to run it, and it will say that it is going to have indentation problem. So make sure that you will have a proper block. So this is the way we can perform the if condition. So if condition is true, if the condition is going to become true, we are going to write down in this way. So now the next fundamental about the if and else. So first we talk about the if else, and so for else there is a single word is there that is called as an else, and that we are going to write down over here. So okay, so A is going to have a 200, B is going to have a 33, and then so यहाँ आपको थोड़ी केयर लेनी होगी. So okay, done. So now if this condition is going to become a true, this particular statement is going to get executed, and if this condition is going to get false, so this statement is going to get executed. So else, and then after that you have to give the colon. So in this way, right now the condition is false because A is 200 and 200 is less than the 33. That's why this thing. And if I'm going to say over here A, and then after that I'm going to say B. Sorry, caps lock is there. So A and B. So now you can say that here the first statement is going to get executed. That is about the if else. And if I want to in a if else, I want to give the condition over here. So that is why I'm going to talk about the else if. And when I want to give the condition over here, so you have to mention a particular condition over here. So let's talk about the condition over here. So for an example, 33 and 33 means both the things are equal. So here what we are going to do is that we are going to put a condition in between that. So for an example, if I'm going to say A equals to B, and then after that colon, and so I'm going to say here equal and not equal, or whatever it may be, or greater. So B is less than A. So this is a condition. So in this way, there are 3 variations are available. And one more variation is available. For an example, if you don't want to make any kind of decision over here, and if you don't want to make any kind of decisions, you cannot keep this thing as in blank. So if you are going to keep this thing as a blank, so it is going to have a problem over here. So अगर आपको कुछ नहीं करना, for a time being, you just want to say pass. I don't want to say anything over here. I don't want any kind of condition. I want to write it down over here. So you can keep this particular keyword as a pass over here, and then after that is going to pass that particular fundamental. So you have to keep in mind कि कभी-कभी ऐसा होता है कि जब decision form कर लेते हो, and then after that you don't know that what code you have to return over there. So at that time you can use the word pass. So fully this decision making mechanism is clear to you. In that decision making, there is a nested if and else is also available, so that you can practice on your own. So shorthand if, we are done that particular shorthand if, and the next looping mechanism is available while loop. So then that particular shorthand if, and The next looping mechanism is available while loop. So as we know that while loop is basically we use for uncertainty. Uncertainty means what? When we do not know the how much range is there, means after how many loops we want to terminate it. So here we are going to give the while loop, and when I'm going to give here while loop, here is that. So here in a Python, again indentation problem we have to keep in mind regarding the using the while loop. So we have set up the I is equals to 1 and I will go up to the what 6, and here we have to take care initialization and the incrementation of it, and I have just incremented the I by 1 every time. So let's execute it. So it will show the 1 2 3 4 5, or and then after that what going to happen? You just forgot to give the one space. So as a layman, as a with a naked eyes, you can see that okay, this is a code, okay, I have written the code, but sometimes this one single space in a code, so you can say that it's executing up to the infinite time, and it's not going to get stopped. So that is the basic, you can say that I call it as a beauty of a Python. So that is the basic beauty of a Python, that you have to understand it very keenly. Means you should have a very keen observation about the code. Otherwise, you will always going to have a problem with your code, and आपको समझ में नहीं आएगा कहाँ क्या हो रहा है. So if I'm going to make that indentation proper, so it's going to execute up to the 5. Now same way here we can use the, as we studied in a C, break continue. So here also we can break the loop, we can continue or skip the particular portion of the loop. That fundamental we can do over here. So here also a keyword is also available, that is regarding the break. So in a break, I'm going to write down here while I is equals to 6, and then if I is going to become 3, I want to break it, and then I want to go for the next loop. So again, in this way, and if I'm going to say indentation is going to in this way, so this break will come under this particular if block. So both, there is a 2 statement is going to become over here, and you can see that the infinite 1 is going to get happen. So I have to stop it, and then after that, that indentation I have to take back. So now it will only one statement inside the if, and then after that is going to break, and it's going to continue with the next loop. So it will skip the 3 right now. So the number is going to skip over is a 3. So as you can see, sorry, it will break the loop over here, not the skip, because when we write down here continue, so it will continue. So in a break, it will break the loop over here, so it will stop at the 3. But if I'm going to write down continue, so the continue is the word that we are going to use, and I want to continue with that word over here. So here with the continue every time, what going to happen? It will continue every time. So this particular I is not going to get executed over here, because it will form an infinite loop. So in this way, these are 2 examples of break and continue. So the skip wala code tha, that skip wala code is here. So now in this code, sorry. So now can you tell me the output of this code? Yes. So this is the code is available over here. So can you tell me the output of code? Yes. Now is saying 1 2 4 5. So let's execute the code. Compile. So the problem is here, that is indentation. So indentation का problem है. Clear? Now this is going to become correct right now. Now it's okay. Again, indentation problem is there. So where is the indentation problem? Can you identify it? कहाँ पर indentation का problem है? Yes, right. In a while loop, because while these two at the same level, so after that I want to increment it. Then I want to take a decision of if condition, and inside it I'm going to write down. So here no problem about it. So this is the thing, and then after that we are going to write down. So done. So run. Now here you can say that it will go up to the 6 and it will print the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Clear? So in this way it will print the code, and this is all about the while looping mechanism. In while loop mechanism, there are two things are there, that is a break and continue. And while using the while loop, always make sure that you will initialize the loop and you will increment it properly, and you will have a termination condition. Otherwise it will go in an infinite loop. So let's move ahead, and then after that we have to study the basically next looping mechanism available in a Python, that is a for loop. And regarding the for loop, the specialty is that it is going to increment. We don't need an incrementation and initialization in a for loop, and it will print it automatically. It means it will automatically initialize to 0, and then after that it will go up to the end of it. So that is the basic features. तो आपकी जितनी भी C की concept रहती है ना यहाँ धरी रह जाती है. So that's why for x equals to x in banana. So मैंने आपको already दिया था कि I will tell you that in next example regarding the in. So in banana and print x. So it will print all the alphabets here one by one. So about the in operator, that you have to make sure over here. So here we are going to use those. So no need, there is no requirement of a increment as well as the initialization. So that you have to take care of it. And there are more variations are available. When we deal with the dictionary, then you deal with the tuples list. So the for loop is very useful. So I just going to give an example of those things over here. So don't worry, I will elaborate those concepts in coming sessions. So just for time being, we are going to execute over here. So as you can see that over here. So just a minute. Okay. So here I'm going to say that for x and print x, and if x equals to banana, and then break it. So in this way, the code is available for x in the fruits. So in a fruits, there are three things are there. So it will always start with the apple, and then after that it first print the apple. Then after that it will compare that particular apple string with the banana string with the equals to operator, and then after that if it's going to same string, it's going to break it. So out of three things only, when I'm going to talk about it, your break. So as we know that the continue and break, so it's going to break the loop over here. So the next example is regarding the in range. So when I'm going to talk about the for loop, so in range, I want to type for x in range 5. And when I'm going to say print, so it's always going to start with the 0 and it's going to go with the 5. So that is a specialty over here. That is always going to start with the 0 and it will go into the 5. And when I'm going to talk about that is the range. So here we can specify the range with the in range. So from here it will start with the 3 and it will go up to the 5. Less than 1 value it will go over here. And if you want to skip, if you want to jump the values by 2, by 3 or by something, so that also you can perform over here with the in range. So here it will execute this code. So it will start with the 3, go with the 8, and it will always skip the numbers by 2. So that is 3, 5 and 7 and less than 1. So if I'm going to give here 1 over here, so you can see that 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Clear? So same way that we can perform over here. So that is the little bit basics about the for loop, while loop, and if conditions. So here we are done with this particular part, that is for loop, while loop, and if condition. If you have a doubt query, you can ask. Said that we'll talk about the input mechanisms. So when I want to talk about the input mechanism, as I already mentioned that when I want to take an input from the standard input stream. So basically here when you write down the std in, that is standard input stream, तो जब हमने C में पढ़ा था वो यहाँ पर भी available है. So they will always refer it as a input stream std. So if I'm going to go over here, इसका intelligence नहीं आ रहा. X equals to enter a number. So it will ask me for number, and I will, when I enter the 4, so it is going to print the 4 over here. So regarding the input here, I want to tell you something over here regarding whenever I'm going to talk about the input. So let's try to understand that we give the different kind of input over here, that is type X. And when I want to read the input from the user, so whenever I want to read the input from the user, we are going to use the standard input stream for reading an input. And whenever we're going to read the input, so let's do this simple example. Every time I'm going to give the different input. Right now I'm going to give the 4, so it's taking as a string. Now the next time again I'm going to run, and I'm going to give the 3.14. So again it's going to consider, always going to consider as an input as a string. Then again third time again I'm going to give the as a v. So again no problem, it's going to read as a string. So whenever we read a string as a string, so we do not have any problem, we are reading it. So but the problem is available when we write a code in over here. So let's try to take an example over here that we want to read the 2 inputs. So when we want to read the 2 inputs, so here when we want to read the 2 inputs, so here example is there, map is function for mapping the 2 value when we are going to split it, and we are converting those things into the integer, and input dot split is the way we are going to call it, and then we are going to print it. So we are expecting 2 values from the user, and we try to take a subtraction of it, and we try to print the subtraction of it. So the values that we are expecting as an integer, so it will actually read as an character 10 and 15. And when I'm going to say -5, so it will print the -5. So once we have written this particular code over here, so what's going to happen, we have to explicitly, we have to convert it. But consider that if you are going to give an user is actually going to give an character over here. So your program is going to throw an error over here because it's an interpreter at a runtime, it's going to throw an error. So whenever we talk about input over here, whenever you try to take an input from standard input, you always make sure that you process that particular input in such a way that you won't have any kind of particular problem over here. Means somehow you are in the next line, when you split that particular thing and we try to calculate the fundamental over here, you have to cross check that whether that input actually a number or not. So that you have to make sure over here. Otherwise, you in your problem, that program is going to work. And the program is going to have a problem. So जब भी आप एक input ले रहे हैं और as a input ही आना चाहिए, integer, and you are expecting only integer, so that you have to make sure this kind of thing over here. So always make sure that whenever you write a code, so in that particular code, when you try to read something, so here the one concept is going to come is a typecasting. We are actually typecasting it. So always it's better that you read the input first and then typecast it as per your requirement. So, and then cross check it. So let's take an example over here. So basically we are using the split function and we are splitting the whatever values we are getting with the help of space. So by difference of space, we are going to give the values. And then after that, explicitly we are specifying. So yesterday already I have given an example over here while they're teaching you the data types. So in a data types, whenever we want to convert that particular any value, so we explicitly tell that we consider this thing as an integer, consider this thing as a float, consider this thing as a complex, then list, then tuples, then dictionary, then set. So explicitly that thing we are going to mention it. That is called as an explicit. We are going to mention to compiler that please convert this thing into the integer. So whatever the value we are going to read over here, that we are going to convert it. So one by one value we will convert it. So again, we'll try to convert it, and then after that we try to print the values. So here I have given the 10 space 17, and it will give me the answer -7 over here. So if I try to print it over here, print the type of X. So here it will print the type of X as well as type of Y. And when we try to print, so after the result, let's try to print it. So after result, we try to print their types. So initially you can know that. So expecting some value, so I'm going to give the 25 space 5. So initially both are considered as a string, and then after that we convert it into the integer, and then we have taken the subtraction, and then after that we try to identify that key how the X and Y are behaving right now. So this is the way we have to be careful while reading an input from a keyboard. Whenever you try to read an input from a keyboard, that you have to be a very careful when we are going to talk about the function. So as in other language also we can declare the function, here also we can declare the function. But यहाँ ज़्यादा तामझाम नहीं है. मतलब when we talk about C, return type though, the name of the function, then what are the parameters, those things we have to view over here. So यहाँ वो return type वाला parameter वाला तामझाम available नहीं है. You do not have to give the return types over here. You can directly declare the function, and then after that, after the colon, you can define the body of a particular function. So this is the first function that we want to execute over here. So let's see this function. So this is only a declaration of the function. Sorry. So this is the declaration of the function. We just declared the function and we haven't used that function. So this is the declaration of function. So declaration as well as definition of the function in terms of C. Only we have to define the thing. And when we want to define it, so after that we have to call the function as well. So my function. Done. So in this way, what's going to happen, whatever the line inside the function, that is going to get printed. So hello from a function. So inside the function, you are going to print the hello. And then after that, if you want to pass, so for example, again, I want to increase the body. So regarding the body, the indentation is there. So you have to follow these indentations over here. So अगर आप यहाँ if condition अगर लिख रहे हो, if you are going to say that, if you are going to write down if condition over here, so you have to make sure that after the starting the if condition, you have to okay. So let's write down one, declare one variable inside it. So x equals to 5 and x is less than 5. Equals to, we are going to say that. So equals to. And when we are going to start on indentation, and we are going to say that print equal. So now this definition of function is starting with this indentation. Then at this level, we set up the value of x, and then after that, if I'm going to talk about equals, and then I'm going to call here. So 2 times this body, and then, but अगर गलती से अगर आपने यहाँ ऐसा कर दिया, so what going to get happen? You will have an error because there is a no block for a condition. So that you have to do. And here one fundamental is available that we can pass. So if you don't want to do something, so this is the pass is a one word. आप बाद में लिखना चाहोगे. So in this way we can do it. And when you want to receive an argument, so regarding the receiving an argument, I want to receive some arguments over here. So default pass. So you can pass an argument as well. So hopefully till now the things are clear to you. मैं ये चाहूँगा कि function को आप थोड़ा explore